It all started with a Minecraft tweet. Minecraft. They made this tweet saying, want to change the world IRL, start in Minecraft. In the Free Good Trouble DLC, explore global civil rights movement, meet change makers, and learn how to stand up, speak out, and build a better world. So Minecraft, in my tweet I said Minecraft tweeted a DLC. It's not really a DLC. It's like a optional, it's like an educational Minecraft version that's optional and that's free. So basically, here's how I'm gonna put it. Let's say you're a kid in 2026 and you are in primary school. Wait, what is it called in English? In elementary school. But your brain is so fried from all the TikTok you've watched since you were an iPad kid that you have ADHD and you can't focus on your history lesson. So the teachers are like, we've got this great idea. Let's make them play Minecraft, but educational. So I guess this is what it is. This is like some kind of Minecraft that kids in school can play to learn about history. Okay, so then what happened? Jelly from Face Connect obviously QRT'd it and said, I was advised by my lawyers not to comment. And then she made this tweet that I included in my tweet saying, screw it, man. I think pushing politics in my children's sandbox game is disgusting, especially when it's disguised as education. Let me play my stupid blog game without having to engage or associate with any of your stupid political garbage that I literally do not care about. I'm just so tired of seeing it. Why does it matter to push real world matters into my blog game that I play to escape from the real world? And if I buy and play the game, can it be seen as taking a side because their dumb ass stupid post blew up? Stupid people in power moment. What's funny is that in Minecraft, most players treat villagers like a indentured servant. That is true. I haven't played Minecraft a lot, but I've played with you guys when we did the Minecraft server, and you guys do treat villagers like that. They were very loud as well. And then Jelly said, next they're going to remove slavery from Minecraft. Then there was another tweet, especially because it's America-centric politics. Why should I care about what happens on the other continent? Why add it to an international Swedish sandbox game? Jelly responds, didn't clock that. I didn't know a lot of these featured historical figures till I did some research of my own. The thing is, as we're gonna see later in Jelly's clip, Jelly isn't American. She's from Malaysia, right? And or she's Malaysian, and she says here that, you know, she just wasn't aware of these featured historical figures. Then she has a stream where she talks about it a little bit. The Jelly stream is important to watch because not a lot of people saw it, and it gives like more insight on her take, because she did get a lot of criticism for those tweets.
The dies of cringe thing when the Minecraft thing came out. I haven't done my proper research, so I can't give a comment on it right now. I just clicked into it and saw a bunch of people spurging out, and I was like, oh, this must be really bad. But then it seems like it's all people from history. So I was like, I need to do a little more research before I take a stance. And also, iron's a bit hot. I don't want to strike when iron's that hot. What Minecraft thing? There's like a something Minecraft where like you walk with Nelson Mandela or something. I don't know. Let me actually, while we're at it, let's take a look at the Minecraft thing, because I know you're dying to hear my opinion, even though I'm literally just a girl. Minecraft Lessons in Good Trouble is what it's called. I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl. Yes, it's in Minecraft education. Subjects, government and politics, reading and writing, history. See, I don't know half the people here, so I don't know what they did. I know some of them. I think it's like social justice and civil rights, like, you know, women's voting, women's education, and all that when they fought for women's education. For the MC event for Mandela, they added tires. What does that mean? Sorry, I'm very uneducated. It's very American. Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. Women's suffrage, India's independence, anti-apartheid for girls. I don't think those are necessarily bad things. Discrimination against people in Africa. I don't think these are necessarily bad things. Apartheid?
See, I think she just, you know, she clarifies it here. I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. You know, people are attributing a lot of thoughts on her tweet. She didn't mean anything by it. Like she said, she's just a girl. Just want to play games.
It's called, if Mr. Mandela offers you a necklace, don't accept. I think it's I think it's history. I think it's historical events because when I was in school, I also learned about equal education and women's suffrage. I don't think this is necessarily like evil or horrible. You know, it could be worse. You know what I mean? It could touch on way more controversial things. I think this is a very room temp take. What they could have done was, yeah, like that guy said, spend the time they did on this fixing bugs. Why do you think Mandela was in prison? I don't think Mandela's here. Is he here? What the hell did John Lewis do? Who the hell is John Lewis? Women's suffering sounds good to me. Where do I sign up? Here in my stream, I was gonna say if you donate to me, I will contribute to women's suffering, but I think that's a very bad thing to say. Apparently people are getting wound up about this. I don't know. I thought they had this in like history books. Because I learned about Gandhi and Mandela too. I don't know. But yeah, I think I think this definitely could be worse. I wouldn't play this, and I wouldn't make my kids play this. I wouldn't let my kids play this, but it could be worse. You know what I mean? They could be touching on way more stupid issues. Like, you know, current day politics. And current day politics are cringe. Sign me up. I was kidding. I was kidding. Do it. I was kidding. I'm joking. Could always be worse. Yeah.
Nothing Burger also, why barge in when you know nothing? Well, she basically says that. She basically says, I struck when the iron was hot and it was like too hot to touch. Like, I'm paraphrasing, but that's what she meant. She's basically saying she reacted too quickly. She did some research after, and that's it. Like, she was just misinformed when she made the tweet. And then she says, I don't think there's actually anything wrong with the civil rights thing. But then she's just like, I just wouldn't play it myself.
I don't know. I guess I don't know. Generally, a pretty room pick if I gotta be honest with you. It's just kind of like. Also, I think they released this in a very bad time. I think they dropped this when everybody is kind of still sensitive, you know. And also, I feel like people are a lot more quick to take a stance and fight for that stance before really looking at the facts. That's why they dropped it. It's Black History Month right now? I'm sorry, I did not know that.
That's also kind of important to underline, because I saw a lot of people that were upset because it was like Black History Month, but she didn't even know it was Black History Month. Jelly basically lives under a rock like I do.
You because for the 5 super in America, we get rowdy with these subjects every February, and you eventually get tired of such subject. I guess I'm very fortunate to not really have engaged with that here. How the hell am I supposed to know? I'm not American. Isn't it an American thing? I'm not American. Oh, Google removed it. Oh, I mean, okay, let's move on to a different topic. Does anybody want to hear my opinion on something else? American you want to be? Are you guys happy? I think all I have to do is just not be, like, terminally online, and I think I can live a very happy life in America. What's your opinion on America? You guys have very, very good access to the internet. So there's a very large population of Americans that are terminally online and very loud on Twitter. That's my opinion. Because where I am from, we're a lot less terminally online. There's still a lot of terminally online people, but since we're in a third world place, there's lots of people who don't have access or regular access to the internet. And usually when they do have access to the internet, they use it for something useful, such as studying or looking at references to world news or local news instead of going on Twitter and arguing with people that literally don't matter. So I'm pretty fortunate to be here, terminally online, streaming as how many of them have bot accounts though? Okay, that's a different that's a different third world country, not this third world, not my third world country. Check out the latest on the beheading. Oh, hey, we don't care that much about the beheadings. I'm not gonna lie, it's because I'm terminally online, that's why I know about the beheadings, man. Why are we talking about beheadings again? Stop! Oh my god. And I was thinking the other day, I was like, I think my mom would do really well as a VTuber because she would come on stream and she would be like, guys, I think that we should, bring back public beheadings from the 1800s, and everybody would be like,
the guillotine.
People clip her, and then she'd go viral, and then the next thing she'd say is, I think of birds are government drones. And then she'd be like,
yeah, okay, I think the rest of the video is not so related. But this is Jelly, by the way. She's also the same VTuber who was afraid to say our fan base name, Clopper, because she thought it was a slur. It was so fucking funny. After this, she did like 2 other tweets that are now deleted. so I don't have screenshots of them. But she says something like, thank you for the 100K, like thanking people for 100K. And then she makes another tweet saying, thank you for like engaging with my engagement bait or something like that. And then during that time, her initial tweet gradually blew up. On Twitter, everybody's fighting about it. It gets posted on other forums, VTuber drama, 4chan, etc., etc. It goes out of control. It hits 4 million views. Then Jelly does another stream, and I'm not sure exactly of the timestamp where it happens, but somewhere during that stream, those tweets get deleted. And then 2 days later, 2 days after February 3, on February 5th, Face Connect drops this statement. An important notice regarding recent events. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for supporting Face Connect. Recent comments made on Twitter by one of our talents include discussion on sensitive issues. Following an internal review, these comments were taken down. We sincerely apologize for any issues caused by this incident. And this is a part most people have trouble with. Face Connect's focus has been and always will be providing entertainment through different personalities and a wide range of unique content. We do not tolerate racism, hatred, or bigotry in our communities. Thank you for understanding and your continued support of Face Connect and our talent, Face Connect team. So the internet completely explodes after that. And we have people like Mr. Softando here, who you can't see it in this screenshot, but he has in his name anti-Face Connect movement saying, ha ha ha, they got my report. You fucking losers. Fuck you, Jelly. Fuck you, Lumi. Fuck you, Dizzy. Fuck you, Peepa. Clara 1. This guy is like a spurg. Woke 1. Fuck you, Nazi motherfuckers. He's crazy. I have more tweets by him. He made another tweet where he tried to frame Jelly while she was like trying to fix her layers in VTube Studio as doing like blackface. But then it got community noted saying the screenshot was taken while this VTuber is adjusting the layers of her model in VTube Studio. Certain parts of the art mesh is selected, like her mouth, were highlighted. The rest of the parts were darkened, making an intentional yet unfortunate look on stream. This guy ended up, so this guy has a history, and he's actually a sexual harasser from another community. There's been a few tweets about him, but he gets so shit on after all the tweets that he tweeted a lot that he ended up deleting his account. So good riddance. Now back to the Face Connect statement, because I think a lot of people had a lot of trouble about, had a lot of issues with it. Like, obviously, it was a terrible mistake. I mean, I think trying to think about this, like, solution-wise, I mean, it's easy for me to say this after the facts, obviously, but I think a better thing is, like, you know, they deleted the tweets. They could have left it at that. I think it reminds people of when, like, Vishojo made Kason delete some tweets, and it's always odd. It's better, for sure, when it comes directly from the talent. Like, if Jelly looked at the tweets and she was like, you know what, it was stupid. I decided to take down the tweet because people are taking it all kinds of way. Like, she could have just tweeted that herself, and it would have felt more genuine and less like, you know, management is trying to make her shut up. I think people just dislike the lack of transparency. And then besides that, when I first read the notice, the second paragraph, I thought it was the way I read it, like my good faith interpretation of this is that this paragraph was regarding the community. Like, Face Connect focus has always been and always will be providing entertainment through different personalities and a wide range of unique content. We do not tolerate racism, hatred, or bigotry in our communities. Like, the way I read it is like everybody's included. You know, we're not trying to exclude anybody. We didn't mean anything by this. Now, but obviously this is not how people are taking it because we're here now. So either they needed to not make the statement, or they really needed to formulate it in a way, if that was their intention, of course, that this was not directed at Jelly, because people are seeing this and now they think Face Connect was saying that Jelly's tweet was racist, you know, hateful, or bigoted. So, you know, obviously it's easy for me to judge this after the facts, but either be like extremely fucking clear in the statement or just not needed at all. Yeah, the wording should have been clearer to eliminate ambiguity. Or just, again, honestly, I really do think it would count 10 times more if it came from the talent itself. Because honestly, if before the tweets were taken down, if you did look at some of the comments, well, these comments are everywhere on Twitter, okay? Let's be real. Like, I'm not necessarily saying they're from a certain community because even myself, I'm getting those comments on my tweets. Some of them were fucking crazy, as they always are on this hellish platform. But this was only the start because it gets worse. The internet explodes even further. It's kind of like creating a Streisand effect where, now there's more eyes looking onto this. Kind of like with other similar controversies. Wait, what did I wanted to say? Oh, yes. I was saying that this reminds me of, remember the whole Hogwarts debacle thing? And I spoke about that on my video about Pippa, where, she gained a lot of popularity there and she gained a lot of new followers. But there was also a lot of people shitting on her for some of her takes, which I found were very valid back then. But at one point, she had to make a statement to say, I welcome everybody in my community. So it was kind of to say that, I don't stand for any, bad values. I welcome everybody because the Hogwarts thing was all about, pro-trans, against trans. And people took it as a very black and white thing. If you stood on one side, then you were against it. But people was like, no, I accept everybody. That statement was generally well received because it came from her. It came from her own Twitter account. And I feel like compared to this, it's a very different reaction just because this feels like, it came from management itself. It came from the top. And to an outsider's perspective, it feels like it was pressure from management. That's what I'm understanding from the sentiment that is online. And then, this blew up, continued blowing up throughout the day. I think this was posted very early on. Okay, not that early, noon. Okay, I woke up late that day. But I remember seeing this and I was like, my migraine immediately activated because I could just foresee the heap of trouble this was gonna cause. Like I was like, oh my God, this is not gonna go down well. And on top of that, this situation goes so viral, other people, it goes out of the VTubing sphere. Now, people are bringing out the Clara thing because she also gives some political statement on her PL at one point. Some people said that it was like political violence, blah, blah. I'm not going to go too much into it because it's very political. And then they're like, well, why didn't you address this? But you addressed this. And then Asmongold covers it. And then it goes, it breaks containment even further. He also displays Clara's docs on his stream, which is very bad. I don't think we should ever show anybody's docs. It's a whole other shit show. And then what happened? Just when we thought it couldn't get... the day's over. The day's almost over. I was like ready to go to bed. I was like, oh my God, it's a disaster. Face Connect comes with another statement. And this statement is about Clara's graduation. So they announce Kamina Clara's graduation. They say she's going to graduate from Face Connect on the 28th, so like legit at the end of the month, very quickly, concluding her regular activities on both YouTube and Twitter, and she will treasure the time she spent walking alongside her fans, yada, yada, yada. Normal, regulation notice. She doesn't get given Face Citizen, unlike the other graduation that we had recently, so Face Citizen is like, it's kind of like that Hololive graduation that they did with Ame, which means like, yes, you're graduating from your regular activities, but you can still come back whenever you want. I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was this bad. It really like broke containment, yes. Then Clara also tweets it and she says, I just want to state that this is a decision I made mid-November and I had been contemplating for a while before then. I didn't want to draw attention away from my GenMate Memories graduation last month, and we finalized the date earlier this week. Thank you. My first question looking at this was like, did they do this graduation in response to the backlash that they were getting online? Was it smart to do it the same day? It just feels like everybody's upset now. You know, everybody's upset now. Every single side is upset. It's like they kind of pulled an advanced GG there. Yeah, it was weird timing, right? But I don't know if she was like, you know, fuck this shit, I'm out, or who it came from. It probably sped up the announcement, yeah. And she's had very few streams in the last 6 months, that's true. I wonder if she was self-suspended. Someone should have delayed it a little. Someone should have done something. But it seems like they were walking on all, you know, the landmines they could possibly walk onto. Oh, it was break before and after, since way before the controversy doggy was stealth. Some people were speculating they think it was a stealth suspension. I don't know. We don't know. Okay, we don't know. It's all speculations at this point. There's a lot of assumptions like going around, I think, from all sides here. It's been interesting to see a lot of the development, that's for sure. There's been some pretty, I'm seeing some really insane stuff, like from both sides. I've showed you, you know, one side. But anyway, some people are really, really upset, you know, like this person saying, I don't see Pippa jumping in to defend Jerry like she did with that, in brackets, literal whore, Clara. I mean, I can agree that the statements that she made on her PL were really stupid, especially for being in a corpo. But I don't understand this mentality of wanting Pippa to speak up. This is the same mentality as the people that were going after Tomoe last week, telling her that she needs to speak up on political topics because silence is violence. This is literally silence is violence. Another idiot here trying to frame Lumi as a racist. Face Connect doesn't tolerate racism, yet there's one of their talents saying the N-word, just one among a lot of bigotry that the company is famous for. You should never ever trust a 2-second clip. That's not what she's saying. She was saying stupid degree. And I saw somewhere somebody replying to this person. Somebody was like, how can you think that she's saying the N-word? It makes no sense in that sentence, in the context of that sentence. And that person was still doubling down. All right, so Pippa tweets, I'm going to do the rest of the sponsor obligations, but regular streams will be spotty for a bit. I don't know, man. Obviously, she's a little depressed about everything going on. And this dude is like, unsubbed anyway. Done with Face Connect. It was fun, but the fun has been killed. Jelly did nothing wrong, and you won't even stand up for her. You are awful. But hold up. You know, at first you read this, you might be thinking, geez, this is a Face Connect fan that seems very hurt by the situation. He must have been like a big fan. But then you see more stuff that he's tweeted. Like this, for example. Tenma just tweeting again on a collab tweet, saying that she's gonna be streaming with Cleo and Ponko. Completely unrelated. This guy arrives like a hair on a soup. Tenma, if FaZe does not apologize to Jelly, I will cancel my current orders. I also not support talent going towards, because I don't want to support a company that abuses its people. Let's look at some other tweets. She blocked me. Time to abandon FaZe. Okay. Like, this guy is just shitting his pants nonstop. He's replying. I see him in every single tweet. He's replying to everybody. Pippa unfollowed Asmongold. Never thought I'd see the day. Everybody unfollowed Asmongold, apparently, after he showed the docs on stream. And there's all kind of speculations about that. But this guy replies to this. She's a shitlib at the end of the day who sided with Clara. Her and Tenma deserve obscurity. So, you know, I really think that this situation, breaking containment, has brought in, or has at least like shed a lot of lights on people who claim they were fans of Face Connect, but they weren't actual fans of Face Connect, were they? Or you wouldn't be acting that way. Like, I understand voting with your wallet. I understand boycott. That's one of the most traditional way to protest in America. But then what I dislike is when you bring that everywhere under posts that are unrelated to the matter. And the problem is that everybody is suffering from this. The talents are being harassed. They are getting a bunch of negative comments. The fans are left hurting. And most of all, the people that are there just to enjoy VTubers are going to be suffering the most. It's just a very sad situation that could have been completely avoided without this Face Connect statement. There's this person, I have no clue who they are. They tweet a lot. I don't always agree with their takes. He tweets here, letting normies dictate the fate of things you like is not the win you think it is, no matter how much you think you agree with them today. I'm going to spend more time with my brother because he kind of needs me right now. If I don't reply autistically, it's not because I don't hate you enough to shitpost. I'm probably just occupied. Take care. From my understanding is that his brother is a really big Pippa fan. And he's saying here that his brother is super sensitive because he's sensitive to subtle social cues and tends to torture himself with his thoughts. He thought Pippa appeared exhausted on stream yesterday, presumably from all the nonsense of the day she had to deal with. And he read into it a lot. He felt sad and helpless as there was not much he could do to cheer her up. I also feel kind of useless because no matter how much smug and useless knowledge / factoids I have about the business, I can't really help someone who is just a fan in the purest sense possible, who just wants to enjoy VTubers without people constantly trying to ruin everything. And I think this is where I'm at this point. Like, at first, I understand the frustration and all of that, but I think the harassment is really not necessary and it's going too far. And I've always had that take. I've even had that take during Selengate, during the whole Nijisanji thing. Harassment is where I draw the line, dudes. That is the most normal take anybody could have, right? I think everybody can agree with that, right? And it's true what he's saying because I've seen a lot of actual Face fans, because I know who they are. I recognize their name. One of them, for example, is somebody that works on one of my channels, Lazy Clipper here. And he was really upset by the statement as well. But after this, you know, he tweeted more because there's like a wariness, there's a fatigue that started dawning on everybody. Because I think everybody is realizing that this is becoming a lose-lose situation for everybody. So yeah, Lazy here, I decided to showcase his tweets because I feel like he had, you know, a good take. Some hours after the announcement, shit went down exactly as I expected. Everything is worse now. People like Asmongold already covered it, so now it's going to become a culture war frontline for like 2 weeks with tourists from both sides being ass. We the fans just got fucked. Yeah, this is also my frustration right now. And I don't know, am I the only person who feels that way? Like, I hope I'm not the only person who feels that way. It's tiring. The amount of shit flinging and harassment we'll see is gonna be horrible now. I don't want to go into specifics, but people are digging up old shit now and spreading docs material. Whoever wrote and greenlit this announcement really fucked up and should be reprimanded. I agree. I mean, I hope that they fucked up and that they won't do it again, obviously. I hope Face management learns a lot from this. If they don't, then the company goes under in a year or two. As for now, we, the actual fans, just gotta weather the storm and support our Oshis. Remember to not harass others or do things like that. It'll just make shit worse. Locked reply, because Auntie started showing up and I don't want to deal with that shit after waking up. I wish I could give money directly to the talents. You guys can. They all have Streamlabs page. You can send donations too. Alright, if the Face Connect and talents cut there is different, but at least YouTube won't take 30% of the dono. Streamlabs is always the best way to donate, by the way, to corporate talents. I don't know if the fans will be willing to support us hard anymore. They played themselves. What's probably going to happen, similar to what's happened with Hololive fans, they'll start being fans of just the talents and not the company. I predict that after this, many won't defend Phase when something else happens, but it doesn't affect their Oshi directly. In fairness, I was already disgruntled by how tame and sterile VTubing had become, largely due to the business and was sort of hoping for a shakeup in how things had been going. Maybe this could work out for the best and allow talents to be more expressive. Dude, if you wanted a VTuber that speaks out more, then just look for one that does that. You won't find anyone like that on the corpus. Dude, he's so right. That's why I like this comment. I'm getting like the senile woman like memory flashbacks that I forgot. You won't find anyone like that on the corpus side of things, but you surely will on the indie side. Shit like this literally only brings negative, almost never positives. I mean, it's true. Like, at the end of the day, yes, Face Connect was edgy. Totally. They're unhinged, you know, the crazy Menhera company, but they're a corporate at the end of the day. That's what Lazy's trying to say here. There's also this is a screenshot I found while I was browsing, I took a photo of it because it really kind of summarizes like all the tourists that are jumping onto this. And it's even Mary Mary. This guy tweets, even Mary Mary knows the fisherman messed up. And then he exposes one of her likes on one of his like GIF retweet from like the Dexter guy. Like, and then I don't have the entire thread here because I just have the screenshot. But I kid you not, chat, everybody in the comments was begging him to take down the comment. They were like, please, bro, don't do this. Please, you shouldn't do this. Like every comment, like, take it down, please. It's really not okay to, you know, have Mary Mary put pressure against her, like expose Mary Mary and create tension between her and her boss. There's already a lot of tension right now in the company. Like it was all like comments like that. And then this guy responds, you really shouldn't do it if you like Mary. This could just cause a new set of issues for her and she doesn't deserve that. She's chill. Learn manners and social etiquette, man. And then this OP of the thread responds, I don't watch her. All I did was reply with a GIF. And she replied, I don't know what you're molding about. I don't watch any of them except that one bear girl. That one bear girl? He doesn't even know the name of the one Phase Connect VTuber he claims to fucking watch. So what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Well, I know what he's doing here. He's here on behalf of the culture war, of course. He's in the trenches, fighting the good fight. This is really what might have broke me. But anyway, like, yeah, normies have they don't understand the culture. They don't understand the etiquette. But like, not exposing like is not even a VTuber etiquette. That's just like kind of normal. Like, that's just etiquette in general. Okay, well, this guy's saying that because likes are hidden, likes are given with implied privacy, airing this out is rude and creates problem for others because people attack popular figures for their opinion. Okay, and then, you know, this is like the other side of it. This is like, no words can describe just how angry I am with how Clara was treated by the company that was supposed to protect her and her own co-workers' fan base, but I guess that's what happens when you cultivate a community of hateful people. Like, I don't know, you know, if this is an actual fan or if they're just positioning as a fan, but like taking a step back at all of this and looking at it from a non-emotional standpoint, it's been very interesting to see how both sides have sort of elected these VTubers as effigies, co-opting them into their movement. And like there's one side that's, you know, electing Clara as this sort of martyr. The other side is like Jelly's gonna be the face of our movement. And it feels like both, well, and there's, you know, there's Pippa also thrown in the mix, and it really feels like these VTubers are kind of just being used as political pawns at this point. And like, am I the only person that think it's weird? Like, I wonder what these VTubers think about all of that, because we have no idea what's going on in their head right now. I would pay $1,000 to look into their head, like into their brain, like just pry it open, look into it, like, oh, okay, this is what you actually think about this. These people are using these girls for this sort of like Twitter war that they're fighting. Her is a piece of shit. She came extremely close to villainy and started violence and bad etiquette about face reveals on her VTuber anonymity are irrelevant to defense of her actions. I don't think that's true. I think no matter what, I think doxing is always bad. Like, I feel like that's just a reasonable take. That's always been our take too, for the past like 3 years since I've done YouTube. You know, some people have this argument that I've said this the last stream too. I keep repeating myself, I feel. They're like, oh, it was a public account. Yeah, guess what? All information is technically public. That's why doxing isn't technically illegal, but we still don't do it because it's bad. Like, doxing is cringe, always has been. I don't know why we're excusing it now. So like, if you open the floodgates to making it okay for her, then whenever other people are upset at somebody from your own political party, your own side, they're gonna dox them too. Do you want this to happen? No, of course not. It's gonna be worse for everybody. That info was obtained and spread with malicious intent as well. Yeah, intent also matters in there. So here, Auk is tweeting, Face Connect is rumored to have had their talent and follow Asmongold on socials after Pippa went viral for doing so. So apparently, PC forced all members who were following Asmund to unfollow him. It seems like PC is trying to create a more clean image in preparation for going public. This is just a loose theory I have, but if true, that will be the death of Face Connect. His source, it came to him in a dream. I don't know why Yi chose like a speculation tweet to tweet that, but I thought it was pretty funny. There's a lot of people that are like doom posting and ratting that Face Connect, might be going public, might be true, might not be, but we really have no certifications. We definitely can't be sure about that, and it's in the realm of speculations. There's another rat that people are saying that Face Connect, forced all the members to unfollow Asmund. This tweeter is saying maybe it's just girls behaving like girls and unfollowing someone who escalated the situation and called their friend a bitch in front of 40k people. I don't know. I want to believe, maybe that's my hopium, that even if the coworkers might disagree on political opinions, that they'd still have each other's back. Just like I can disagree with some friends about political opinion, and I'm still gonna support them. And the thing is, even though Clara's comments were extremely bad, okay, and I think, political violence is never justified on all sides. I think everybody can agree with that. The comments going after her were so bad in harassing her, like, that they made her a victim. If there was any real criticism to be had, it got completely drowned out by these vile posts. Like, they were replying under every Face Connect post, even the totally unrelated ones, the celebration ones, the announcing collab ones, the merch ones, everything. It's like you became the most obnoxious person ever. So, and like, if you really believed in this, if you're in your movement, you would condemn these people because it makes you look bad. Like, again, this is the exact same take as Silence is Violence and the people going after Tomoe last week. Why are we doing this all over again? Why are you saying Asmund doxed Clara? He clicked a link while covering the drama. It's not his fault Clara didn't private her PL. Her PL was privated the entire time. These posts were leaked from her PL. I'm gonna put the dots on the I's there. This is the truth. Asmund might have done it accidentally. I'll give him that. But at the same time, the initial poster did it in a way that was malicious. So yeah, we are in an eye for an eye environment. It's messed up. Clara's obnoxious. Sure, you can think that. I'm not gonna argue with you on that front. But dude, is it crazy to think that people shouldn't be doxxed and harassed for this? I can't be the only person that believes that. The tweet that Asmund showed was from an anti-doxing her. Yeah, Asmund doesn't adhere to the VTubing rule of doxing, then he shouldn't be covering VTuber related stuff. That just proves that he's a tourist. Anyway, again, I think if you want to vote with your wallet, that's fine. If you want to, boycott, if you want to, pressure a company by, stopping to watch, stopping to subscribe, that's valid, right? But don't bring this on tweets that have nothing to do with it. Don't go into talent stream pressuring them to speak about it. I don't even think that Jelly can say anything when she comes back, by the way. So, have some decorum. Like, we're all so tired. I know that there's a lot of people that want FaZe to go under right now. They want to see FaZe burn into the ground. But I believe that any corpo going poof from the scene is really bad long-term for the scene. Like, it hurts everybody. In the spirit of healthy competition, it's not good. Yeah, the market keeps shrinking. We've already lost V Shoujo. If all the corpos die out, idol culture is bust. And we've already got tons of indie VTubers. I know that some people aren't a fans of idol culture, but I love it. I like seeing cute girls doing cute things. I like seeing the Gatmoe. I like seeing cute VTubers shouting unhinged stuff too. I don't want one less VTuber company. I just want them to do the best that they can for the fans and for the talents. Okay, but a little bit of good news. I think you guys will like that clip. there it is. FaZe at least seems to know what they messed up and acted reactively on the Jelly situation. For the good of everyone involved and FaZe as a whole, we love the talents there and only want to see them be as successful as possible. Please show all of them the love and support they deserve.
Really quickly, speaking for myself, I really want to just say that my priority in everything is the people I care about most, my friends and this community. And for today's episode of FaZe Weekly, I want to hold off on any more big statements for the moment. And right now, I'm also not going to let anyone make big statements on my stupid fucking clip show, okay? I hope you understand why. I want my friends to feel comfortable and have fun, especially when we have a collab coming up. So, you know, history has shown that high-pressure environments tend to produce reactive decisions rather than effective ones, so take care of yourself and your peace first and foremost, and let's watch Jelly talk about Rock.
So I think she was basically she was saying like, you know, we're not gonna make some big statement on the stream, but she was basically saying that, you know, they kind of made that statement under stress, and in hindsight it wasn't a great idea. Yeah, I feel like she handled this with a lot of diplomacy. It was really well handled. Why are people seeing Clara as a saint though? I think that's a minority. Well, it's like the people that, you know, like that one person that was like, oh, but it's also because she kind of became a victim with how much harassment she received too. Kind of like what I explained earlier. It's complicated. You know, what do you guys want the company to do from now on? Like, what would make it better? Would you rather we just like never speak about it anymore? Just continue giving us entertainment? Do you want them to give you another statement, an apology? Would the apology even help? Or is it just too fucking late now after the facts? You know, do nothing, don't talk, protect the talents, never do a statement again, ignore drama. An apology would help. I just hope that FaceCon still goes well. Oh yeah, there's FaceCon soon too. Silence are taking down the apology documented tweet, but if they take down the tweet, shouldn't they, you know, make a statement about taking down the tweet? Apologize to Jelly. Yeah, but apologize publicly or behind the scenes? An apology would blow everything up to overdrive. An apology would not help at all. Return to do nothing and win. Maybe. Hey, you, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell button. And I'll see you in the next video.